Okay, welcome back. Episode 6 of 1 Minute Sports Blogs podcast. Just rocking it. Me and Grover Steveland today. Baka Boom is taken off again because he is not committed to the blog at all. We
At
skipped
least,
last week.
well, we
We
skipped.
skipped.
Yeah.
Steve's just trying to talk over me while I do the intro. That's cool. We skipped last week because Chris, again, isn't committed. And then we just thought, fuck it, we'll just go for it this week. We decided to do it early because we got the Knicks tonight. Now you can talk, Steve.
Am I good? Can I?
You're good.
Am I good to
Good.
go?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, yeah, Baca completely sucks for bailing on us today. But you said all three of us had to write Knicks blogs, and then you didn't write one. You proceeded to not write a Knicks blog.
I was watching basketball at the bar last night, and I was like, the Knicks play tomorrow. I got to text the guys in the group telling them to write a Knicks blog. Full well, you're just lucky I didn't write one at the bar last night. Because you've seen what happens when I do that.
You wrote the when the Rangers lost in the Stanley Cup. You wrote that blog drunk.
I wrote that blog drunk, and I wrote one at a bar about college football. Oh,
Yeah, that was earlier this year. That was like week one, right?
yeah. I'm not good at writing.
Chris had to come back in the morning and correct everything.
Yeah. I just straight up removed the blog. That's the only blog I've ever removed. I was just embarrassed by it.
I I was right in the middle of writing my Knicks blog today, and I didn't have a title for it yet, so I was writing the rest of it, and I was gonna go back and make a title, and I finished what I was gonna write and realized I didn't realize I didn't put a title, so I hit post,
I
and
do
I
that
just posted the
all
blog with
the
no
time.
title.
I do that way too much, and it sucks because then the title doesn't come up on Twitter. But at least
Yeah,
your thing came up and it was like tape.
it made sense because it cut off like at a proper
Yeah.
spot. Yeah,
That's my roommate Nick
how's it going?
eating his donut.
Do you wanna just hop right into the Knicks?
Yeah. Oh, quick note. My roommate Nick saw my dick today. Yep. Yeah, this is the live thing. Yeah, he straight up just pulled down my pants and wanted some of it. No, all right. Let's jump right
So,
into
so
this.
that's what we want to tell our
That's what we
podcast.
want to tell our audience.
Okay, I'm rattled
All right.
now.
Let's jump right into it. We're gonna go Knicks first.
Yeah, let's talk some Knicks. I didn't think I was excited for the Knicks season. Like I didn't even really think about the Knicks at all in the past couple weeks. And then today I was in the process of writing the blog, and I was like, oh fuck. When the Knicks are good, like I remember 2 years ago when they were good, when they were like real good, when they won 50
That was
games.
awesome.
It was the coolest thing because everyone in New York roots for the Knicks.
Exactly.
No, like
Exactly.
I don't know a single Nets fan. The Nets might as well still play in New Jersey to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're irrelevant and they're bad and they're going to be bad forever because they don't have a draft pick until 2018.
They're like the Knicks. They're like the Knicks a couple of years. They're like the Knicks before. Um, what are they like?
Stoudemire.
Before Stoudemire, while they still had like Wilson Chandler and Daniil Gallinari.
When Nate Robinson was the best player on the team,
Exactly.
which
When
is
they had Jamal Crawford, they actually had some really good players.
yeah. But I mean, I said in my blog today, I love Shane Larkin.
Me too.
I
I
remember
love Shane Larkin.
I remember when he was in college. I was watching the ACC tournament, and he was just tearing everyone up.
I know, dude. I'm a huge Duke fan, so I watch all ACC basketball, and he straight up killed Duke the 2 games he played against them, and he was just awesome. Like Shane Larkin is a good player.
Yeah, he has really great ball skills, and he would just drive up the lane and either lay up or like he'd be great at drawing attention and then finding an open man.
Yeah,
He's good. He can ball. Um, the Knicks since Phil Jackson took over, the Knicks have made just so many good moves.
yeah,
They're in position now to they freed up cap space with Felton and Chandler.
Hmm. The
They
cap
got
is going
draft
to get bigger.
picks. They got draft picks, which they didn't have.
Hmm.
They they can they still have Bargnani, which is horrible.
It's the one thing. Why? I don't know if Phil likes Bargnani or like.
Well, Phil didn't bring in Bargnani. That was
I know,
still
but like I don't know why he's keeping him.
because he couldn't get rid of him because he still had to pay him.
That's true.
That's the one thing really holding them back from like being like able to do whatever they want this offseason.
Bargnani. Yeah, I really all offseason I really haven't been paying attention to the Knicks that much. Like I've been reading stories kind of here and there, but just because I had like no hope in this season, and then like I just feel like watching the NBA is so
Yeah.
boring now. But you know
When
when the
you're
Knicks are good,
NBA, it's the one sport that like when your team's out of it, it's so boring to watch.
exactly.
Like
That's,
it's not like I can watch any football game between any two teams. Like when the Mets are still suck, I'll still watch every Met game.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
what happened with the Knicks last year is being away at school, I didn't get the games, and by the time I got home and like I didn't like they were so out of it that I just didn't even want to watch them.
I got all the games and I watched most of the games, and it killed basketball for me last year. I hardly watched any of the playoffs. I didn't watch like I don't watch any of the big games because it's so like stop and go and stop and go, and it's just like with the Knicks sucking, they just ruined basketball for me last year, and they need to be good for me to watch the NBA.
Yeah, I think they're in position to be good. I mean, Phil Jackson's coaching.
Phil Jackson is pseudo coaching the home
If you
game.
think Phil Jackson he wanted to coach, but he didn't want to travel.
Exactly.
So let me bring in Derek Fisher. I'm gonna coach from the press box or whatever, wherever he's gonna be. He'll
Wherever
probably
he's
be like
next to Spike Lee.
he won't be courtside. He'll be like in just a random section, like where Larry Bird always sits. Larry Bird's always like halfway up,
Yeah.
just sitting by himself.
When they introduced Phil Jackson, he was just like in the middle of the stands, like not even on an aisle even. He was just like in the middle of a row, and he just stood up and was like, and just had to sit back down. He was probably sitting in like the 300s.
Yeah, he's gonna make all the plays. He's gonna be telling Fisher who to play in what situations, and
Yeah, I mean,
Fisher just has to be a game manager because Jackson does everything else.
yeah, Jackson's a big picture guy.
Yeah.
Fisher listens to everything Jackson says. Fisher's there to basically control the egos.
Yeah,
Because he's not a better basketball mind than most in the NBA. Like, he's very good. He's like, Derek Fisher is going to be good at keeping the team from not collapsing in on themselves.
yeah, because the players respect him. Like
Exactly.
he's played a long time and he was good. He won a lot of
He
championships.
played against these guys.
Yeah.
Like, he's always a good guy. Like, so I mean, the players like him. They'll respect him. Hopefully, if they win, then it'll be a lot easier for them. But I just don't want us to start like 2-10
Yeah,
and have like people calling for Fisher's head right away.
I mean this isn't a team that they're not gonna compete this year.
No.
I think they'll make the playoffs because the East is so weak, and they'll get like a 6, 7, or 8 seed.
Just get bounced in the first round by
I
the.
mean, maybe they'll make some. I think they'll probably lose in the first. Maybe win a first round series and then get.
I just want them to. I want them to play if they make the playoffs. I don't care what seed we get because we're not making it past the first round. I would rather us get like the 7 or 8 because I just want to play the Cavs. Because like if we win 1 or 2 games, then the hype will just be nuts. Like, oh, the Knicks beat LeBron and the Cavs. The Knicks are back. Like the Isles against the Penguins.
They won 2.
Yeah, the Isles won too, and
they
everybody was like,
should
the
have won
next
a
year,
third.
The Isles are going to be awesome. The Isles are going to be awesome.
Nuts. But that was more not being in the playoffs for like 7 straight years. It's like when the Knicks first got Melo and they got swept by the Celtics. Then the next year they played the Heat. They lost the first three, and then they won the fourth one at the Garden. And they had the confetti first playoff win in like how long? Since like 2001.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I just want them to be competitive this year, like play, like be entertaining to watch, and
Yeah.
then make moves in the offseason. Because like next year is the year. This isn't.
Like that team 2 years ago, like they were awesome, but they were such a fun team to watch. Like
Yeah.
jacking up like 40
They,
threes a game.
they broke the record for threes in a season.
Yeah, everything going in. They had guys like Jason Kidd was playing. Jason Kidd was on the team. He's a coach now.
What's his name? Copeland.
Like
Chris Copeland.
Copeland Fever.
I remember I was at his coming out game. It was the only Knicks game I've ever been to, actually.
Rit.
They played I believe it's one Knicks game.
That's nuts.
Yeah. My brother doesn't care about basketball at all. Neither does my dad. And Knicks games are crazy expensive.
They're super expensive.
Because even when they suck, they sell out. And then when they're good, which is now, they're even more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Or when they were good a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I was at Copeland's. They played. They might have been the Hornets back then. Were they the Hornets 2 years ago, or were they the Pelicans yet?
I think they were the Hornets No, they were the Pelicans 2 years ago. I
They
think.
played the Pelicans then. I have no.
I think they
They played
changed
New
last
Orleans.
year because of the mascot thing. Remember?
Yeah, they played New Orleans. So and Copeland had he played like 2 minutes and had like 15 points. All were threes.
Yeah. I loved Copeland.
Rocking.
He was the best. He was sick in the playoffs.
Also, when they got eliminated, it was at after prom, and it just because what we did for prom, we had prom and then Shaman had prom. You get home like 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, we had.
So we woke up early the next morning. We drove to our buddy's Hampton house
Did
and
Chris?
did like after prom the entire next day.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with sports. But the Knicks lost like during after prom, and it just sucked. It was like the worst thing in the world.
yeah, I think me and Chris went to the game 5 when they beat the Pacers to
When I remember Chris isn't here. I'm going to speak for him. He always says when that was Shump when he had the crazy putback.
the Garden went nuts.
Chris
I
is
remember
word.
that.
Chris has said it multiple times. Or Baca for those that.
Whatever. Chris.
It's going to speak for Baca here. His quote every time he talks about that. I've never seen a group of white people instantly become so black with one in 1 second.
Literally, the Garden was shaking. It was crazy.
So
I didn't believe what I saw.
Alright.
He was like above the fucking hoop. Oh.
Hopefully Shumpert gets back to that and the Knicks. So
If Shumpert, Shumpert isn't the key to the Knicks, but like they need him to be really good because when he sucks, the team sucks. Like
he has all the ability
exactly.
and he has all the athleticism.
Yeah, sorry, I was fixing something. He's got all the tools, and he's had all the tools, and everybody just keeps talking about it, hyping him up, and then he'll show some stuff that he can really play, and then he'll stop his progress.
And he has the hair.
If he can come out this year 14 a game, basically we won't have a need for J.R. Smith anymore if Shumpert can play well. We won't need J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith's replacement is Tim Hardaway Jr.
That's true. Yeah. I forgot about Tim Hardaway Jr. He's the man. No, you know who I'm gonna love this year? Cleanthony Early.
I love that. Love that draft pick.
Loved that
The fact
draft.
that the Knicks even got a draft pick, I was excited about. And they got
Yeah.
two, and they got Cleanthony.
When Phil made moves. in the last
Phil,
day.
Phil's already since Phil's been in charge, he's already made so many good moves that just help the team. And I think this year isn't the year. Next year they'll make moves.
This is the year.
This is the setup year. This is what the Mets were last year.
This is what the Knicks were the year before they were the 2 seed. This is the setup year.
It's true.
Like, you got to teach this team how to win. And then next year, they're going to win it all.
Yeah, pretty much. 82-0.
82-0. All right, that's enough Knicks stuff. Oh, on the list.
Is it that time?
Dude, I don't know if I'm up to talking about it. It's just like, I don't know how a team can be this bad. I don't know how the Jets can be this bad.
That was 6 turnovers between 2 quarterbacks.
I was watching the game on Sunday. I watched every single snap because I just torture myself. And it was just painful. From the very get-go, Geno Smith's 3 interceptions on 8 passes.
Was it the first 3 drives of the game?
First 3 drives of the game. We didn't get a first down. We had 3 interceptions. It was pathetic. Then I get the tweet from Fard saying I can't wait for Dogs wrap up of this game, and I was like, fuck, I have to write something about this game, and then I just didn't. I just wrote it like a day later. But there's just so much I could say about this team that I just don't know where to start. So I always start with Geno because you need a quarterback to win, and and then there's Rex just saying like, oh, I still think Geno's going to be a really good quarterback. I'm like, no, he's not. Like, open your fucking eyes.
The fact that John Idzik could trot that team out. They had a wide receiver playing corner.
Yeah, it's like just the whole way the season was set up. We all knew, every Jet fan knew it was going to be a disaster. We tried to convince ourselves otherwise. We beat the Raiders week 1, and now we're on the road to 1-15.
After the first 3 halves of football this season for the Jets, it looked like they were going to be a decent team. After they were up, how much were they up on Green Bay at halftime of that game?
We were up 21-3 at the end of the first quarter. I think we were up 21-10. No, it was something like that. 21-10, 21-17, whatever it was. But it just went downhill from there. It literally has been the worst season of any sports team I've ever watched. And I've watched the Mets have the 2009 was bad.
When ESPN picked them to win the World Series? Not ESPN, Sports Illustrated.
And then everybody got hurt. There's the Mets 2009 to 2012.
Wow.
2013 and 2014 were fun.
That was fun to watch. But
this Jets team,
the Knicks from
there's nothing I like about this Jets team. There's not one besides Chris Ivory. I like Chris Ivory.
Chris Ivory's good.
There's no. It's like we're just banging our head against the wall, trying to do the same thing over and over. Like we draft a quarterback, like we did Mark Sanchez. The guy sucks, and we're just sticking with him, and we're not moving on because it's apparent to everybody else in the world that he sucks, except John Idzik and Rex Ryan. Like,
now, John Idzik absolutely has to be fired.
He has to, but Woody's not going to do it because Woody wants to see Idzik's plan through, and Idzik's plan is like a 5 or 6 year plan. It's infuriating.
Rex Ryan's going to go.
Rex is going to go. Although there are a ton of reports this week that Woody just loves Rex and won't fire him.
Rex he. I don't know how I feel about Rex because I like him.
Rex is a very, very good football coach.
The
But
only the biggest knock on him is that he isn't like he gets attached. Like he's very good with all the players love him,
Mhm.
and he gets he's able to like get the players riled up and everything, get them pumped and all that, and he's very attached with the players. But that causes him to cloud his judgment when making football decisions. Like when he comes out and says, "Yeah, I still think Geno Smith is a good quarterback. I still think he could play."
yeah,
It clouds his judgment. Everyone else could be like, "No, we need a new solution. We need to
like,
get
do
one
you
now."
think Belichick comes out like and says, like, do you think Belichick would come out and be like, yeah, I think we should still give Geno some time? No, Geno would have been fucking done. Like, John Moore just got suspended for 5 games after that. That's bullshit.
What? When he lifted the stick, was that him?
Yeah. For the hit on what's his face, the guy on the Wild. But
Wait, it is because I saw like it might have been a Vine or something, and it was I couldn't see the number of the guy on the Rangers, but he had the stick between the guy's legs and he just lifted it up.
yeah,
That was more.
that was more.
Right.
And what was I saying? Oh yeah, like Rex is a great football coach. I love how he's so like in touch with his players because there's not a lot of coaches like that in the NFL or college. Or Rex would be a great college coach. The players love him. Like that's what a great college coach is. But he's way too attached to them, and he's a very good football coach. But his voice has just run its course. Like at some point, that's why there's constant turnover in the NFL with coaches. Your shelf life is only a couple of years because after a while, these guys have just heard your spiel again and again and again, and it just doesn't work anymore. You just need a new guy. And that's why we need a guy who's a polar opposite of Rex Ryan. We need a guy like Eric Mangini, who just comes in, there's no nonsense. I'm not saying we need Eric Mangini. I'm saying we need a guy like Eric Mangini.
Remember when Eric Mangini was the man genius?
Eric Mangini took us to a 10-win season. Rex Ryan's never taken us to a 10-win season.
See, Rex, he came in and he gave the team an identity after they didn't have one forever, and they were good for the first 2 years. And like he brought them to the AFC Championship in his first 2 years.
The problem with Rex was that he made the Jets too big. Like he made the Jets too big. Like now the Jets are on everybody's radar, and now they're like laughing stock because they suck. Like people don't laugh at the Jaguars who have sucked forever, but they laugh at the Jets because Rex made the Jets out to be a team that was way more than what they were.
That's why I love, even when they're losing, Jerry Reese and Tom Coughlin, because they stay out of headlines. You never hear about the Giants.
You never hear about them.
Like they won the Super Bowl and people just like didn't even talk about them. Like they won the Super Bowl, and like the next week the head story was like, what's going on with the Jets? They fly under the radar. They come up
and then,
randomly in December.
That's not happening this year. When the Cowboys are 13-1.
Cowboys, they're gonna get a loss erased. I didn't know that.
They've lost 2 games.
They lost on Monday.
Oh yeah.
They lost to Colt McCoy's Redskins.
They lost to the Colt McCoy era. I'm sorry. After the Jets game, I just
there. I didn't
even watch the game Monday.
Eagles lost. Cowboys lost.
Cardinals didn't lose.
Nice relaxing Sunday. Really recuperated as a fan. And I'm ready to go out and get the they play Indy this week. Fuck.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
They got a nice little break, and then who's their next few games against? They got Indy,
Seattle, San Francisco. But then after that, it's like Jaguars, Titans, because they play the AFC South and the NFC West.
If the Giants, they're gonna go probably best case 1-2 over the next 3 weeks.
But then they have a stretch of like 4 games. They got the Redskins again. It's like Jaguars, Titans, Redskins, and then who else in the AFC
They have the
South.
Cowboys again. They have the Eagles again. They have um the the Giants' odds of making the playoffs are very slim. Obviously, they're much better than the Jets, but
Yeah, I
it's
mean, Dallas. I think they're gonna finish like 8-8, 9-7. Like
it's
honestly, they haven't beaten. They beat the Seahawks,
who aren't that good.
who aren't the Seahawks.
They aren't
And
the
other than that,
Seahawks
they
of
haven't beaten
last year.
anyone. They've beaten up on like the Rams and like that was the other team in that stretch. It's like Jaguars, Titans, Rams, Redskins. The next four after these next three.
That means they need to win all four of those games.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but they play the before heading into this week. Before everyone played this week, the Cowboys hadn't beaten a team above 500 yet.
Yeah, I mean the NFL's weird this year.
It is.
It's been really weird. There's not one really good team. Now the Patriots look like they're the best team in the NFL.
Brady's been on fire
Yeah,
ever since everyone said he was done against Kansas City.
yeah. Then he just decided to become a good quarterback again. I remember me and my friend were talking about how we're going to trade for Brady. How Brady's going to retire a Jet.
Be great. I mean, I feel like Bill Belichick would do. I feel like Bill Belichick doesn't care about loyalty. He just wants.
Uh,
He's an all
Absolutely.
business guy. He's like, whatever is good, I want it.
They just traded Vince Wilfork in the offseason.
Was it Wilfork they traded?
Wasn't it
Wilfork
Wilfork?
got hurt. I don't know. They traded
I
their
would-
offense. I know they traded one of their offensive linemen, Mankins.
Mankins, that's who they traded. Big black guy.
Mankins black. I thought Mankins was white.
No, Mankins is black.
Okay. Do you want to go some World Series?
Yeah, let's go some World Series. Game 7.
By the way,
I
yeah,
love Game
Logan
7.
Mankins is white. By the way, just letting you know, Logan Mankins is a white dude.
Dude, I'm not in it right now. I'm fucking I told you before. I told you before we started that I was very hungover. I'm not I'm not all here. Um let's do the World Series. Game 7. This series has been boring as shit. It's been the most boring 7-game series I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I don't know. All the games have been boring. There hasn't been a good game yet.
No. And you would
No
think
one
because
wants everyone's excited about the Royals, but no one wants to watch the Giants.
exactly.
The Giants put everyone to sleep. I watched when Bumgarner pitches. That's a different story because he's
Bumgarner is awesome. Bumgarner is one of he's the best playoff pitcher in the MLB right now.
yeah. They just showed he has 4 starts in the World Series. I think he's 4-0 with a .29 ERA.
That's nuts. That's
I
nuts.
don't know if he's 4-0, but he definitely has a .29 ERA in the World Series.
That's gonna be Harvey in 2 years.
Yeah. No, Harvey won't have an ERA that high.
I don't think he'll give up a run in the World Series.
Harvey's going to pitch all 4 games of the World Series and not give up a hit. 4 complete game, perfect games.
Yeah, I don't because these were the 2 most exciting teams. Well, no, I wanted Washington to make it. I wanted it to be Washington and the Royals, and the Royals made it there.
Nationals.
But all of the exciting games that have been played in the playoffs this year, I was more interested in the MLB playoffs this year than I have been in a while.
And the World Series has been a dud.
The World Series has just sucked. It's
One big thing is once the Royals lost a game, that took a lot of excitement out.
yeah, they weren't going to run the table.
There was no chance it would happen, but everyone thought there was a chance of the Royals going just undefeated to the playoffs.
Just going straight through to the championship. If they had won Game 1, then
Game 2 would have been crazier.
Game 2 would have been nuts, but they lost Game 1, and so everybody was like, "Oh, the Giants are going to win the World Series," and so that's what I thought. So I didn't watch Game 2, and then the Royals won, and I was like, So I just kept watching and tuning in. And
Every game's been like a blowout.
Yeah, last night was the worst. It was on, and I was watching the Lakers.
Why?
No, because there's like
Oh,
four,
you're out. All right, never
yeah,
mind.
there's like four screens where
Yeah.
I was out, and the World Series game just sucked. I was watching the Lakers game over the
Well,
um.
Hudson's pitching for the Giants tonight, and
I love Tim Hudson. I love him. He like I love him because I always used to draft him in MVP 2003.
yeah, when he was filthy in 2003, and now
He was
he's old.
filthy. He was amazing. He was like a 97 overall. He just like because well he would never be pitching to anybody really good because I would always fix the draft and I would have like McGuire on my team, Bonds, Sosa,
Naturally.
Palmeiro. I just had a stacked squad. But I always had Tim Hudson. There were always two guys that were always on my team. I always had Tim Hudson and Eric Chavez.
Just two of the most random guys. Just
Chavez was juiced out of his mind, so he was awesome. But Tim Hudson he's been one of my favorite pitchers. That's one like my favorite scene in Moneyball is just when Tim Hudson like it's like an extra, but while he walks across, he's wearing a Hudson jersey, and I'm like, yeah,
that's so
that's my shit.
ridiculous. They pulled out a stat. I think it was on PTI. It might have been around the horn. Hudson, like this year, when pitching on like short rest, which is what he's doing tonight,
Mhm.
he's like his ERA is like 8.
Not my boy. Not if he's reverting to MVP 2003.
I don't think he will. Well, Bumgarner might come out of the pen.
Oh
Probably
yeah,
will.
I would.
Like when Randy Johnson used to come out of the pen and just mow guys down.
Yeah, all
Um,
hands on deck.
but I think the Royals will get to Hudson early, and then I think Bumgarner coming in won't matter. I mean, Bumgarner can come in and shut him down for the last 8 innings, but they get 3 in the first, it's over.
It'll be like when Glavine gave up the 7 runs in the first inning. Dude, I was at the game
Without getting an out,
without getting an out. Um,
Hall of Famer.
we always find a way to bring it to the Mets. Like that's why our shows run so long because we always like we could be talking about the Knicks and we're just like they're blue and orange like the Mets.
That's because I mean we're all I mean obviously we're all big fans of all 4 sports in New York,
But we're
but we're
all
all head and shoulders just much bigger Met fans than everyone else.
yeah. Like that's obviously your answer of all your favorite sports teams who you would want to win a championship.
Oh, who wants to
Your
win a
top-
championship is different than who I like more, I think.
Who's
Because
who's
the
your
Giants,
favorite?
I can watch the Giants be shitty for another like 10 years. I'm like, oh whatever, they won two Super Bowls in the past.
Well, what's your ranking? 1 to 4 of teams that you want to see win a championship.
Mets, Isles.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably still put the Giants above I mean, the Knicks are like I love the Knicks, but they don't compare to the other 3 to me. They don't.
I go Mets, Jets, Rangers, Knicks. Rangers and Jets are a toss-up because the Jets are never, ever, ever going to win a championship.
Then that should put them higher in your list.
Probably. Yeah, but I'm gonna watch Game 7 tonight. It's
Yeah,
in like an hour.
I'll be watching that mostly and flipping to the Knicks in between.
Yeah. Where are the Knicks on? TNT or ESPN?
They play the Bulls. I don't know if that makes a difference, but they play the
Yeah, they're playing the Bulls. The Bulls channel is, I think it's TNT.
Well, I mean, usually, I feel like if they're playing the Bulls, they'd probably put that game on, why the fuck is this not coming up?
Well, they have the
Oh.
Cavs tomorrow.
They play the Cavs tomorrow?
hmm
Jesus Christ. That's a gritty start to 2-0, let me tell you.
We're really gonna shock the
Play it.
world.
We play at 8. It's not telling me what channel, ESPN.
ESPN. Okay. For my TV up here, we don't have a remote, so you have to get up and switch the channel manually. It fucking sucks. It really sucks. So I'll probably end up just choosing one to watch after Tim Hudson starts shutting down the Royals. Then I'll probably switch to the Knicks. But it should be a fun night. Should be a fun night of TV viewing.
Are you rooting for the Giants?
No, I'm rooting for the Royals, but I want
If you're rooting for the Giants, you're just a psychopath.
yeah, I want Hudson to do good. I don't want Hudson to get beat up on.
So you want Hudson to go like 7 scoreless and then the bullpen get rocked.
No, I want the Royals to win it in the bottom of the ninth. I want Hudson to go 7 scoreless. I want Bumgarner to come in, take it for an inning, and go scoreless. And I want a 1-0 bottom of the ninth home run by Kane. I want Kane to hit a solo shot in the ninth to win it.
That would be cool. Obviously, that'd be awesome. I almost kind of want it to be a blowout early and just have it be a party in Kansas City the entire game. Just have shots of the crowd just going ballistic in like the 4th inning when like nothing's even happening, just because they know they're gonna win. Like they're up 10-0 in the second, and they just know they're gonna win.
Do you think they're gonna? Oh, do you think the Miami guys are gonna be there?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. That's what made the World Series suck. That guy made the World Series about him.
That guy might have made the World Series suck because honestly, that guy sucks.
That guy is a.
He was like, yeah, I'm not. I just love sports. I'm not looking for attention or anything. You're wearing a fucking neon orange jersey and a sideways visor and sitting front row of every World Series game. Do not tell me you're not looking for attention.
Like, you can't sit front row and not look for attention. I sat front row once, and all I did all game was do funny shit trying to get on ESPN or something. It didn't work.
It's one thing if he was gonna go and just wear whatever color, blend in with the crowd, or wear like a neutral color if he doesn't really have a rooting interest.
And wear like just wear a Miami hat.
Yeah, maybe.
Not sideways.
He's also I don't know,
mentally handicapped.
He's on Twitter. I'm not sure if he tweets a picture. Like, he'll go home and he'll watch the game, and he'll tweet a picture of every single time he's on TV. So his Twitter's like 500 just pictures of himself, like, on TV.
That's ridiculous, but at the same time, I can't say anything because I would do the exact same thing. Like, if I got on TV, that would be my Facebook profile picture, that would be my Twitter profile picture, it would be everything.
It's the guy from the 7 line?
Yeah.
He's at the game, and he has a big sign that says like Mets fans for Royals.
That's pretty cool.
That guy pisses me off.
I don't know. I like it. I
like him too, but he's so preposterous that he pisses me off a lot. Like, he hates Bob Costas because Bob Costas once made a joke about the Mets.
How dare he?
Exactly.
All right, you wanna wrap this up?
Yeah, I was hoping to talk some college football because first playoff rankings just came out, but
Notre Dame being number 10 is bullshit.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. They lost on a bullshit call to Florida State at the last second.
First off.
And Florida State's number 1. They should be should be where they are in the AP. What?
Florida State's number 2.
Okay, whatever.
They haven't beaten anyone though.
Notre Dame?
They're yet to beat a good team.
Yeah, but the thing about the thing about the playoff thing and the thing about the selection committee is that it's not necessarily about beating these teams. It's about how you play. It's not about beating a team by 70. It's about being the best team, and Notre Dame has no weaknesses.
All right, I was hearing your argument at first, and now you're getting just preposterous.
It's like we had a shitty.
Who do you have them above? Who is above them that you would put them above?
I need to see the rankings, but everybody, I would go.
They should be 9. They should be above Kansas State. So I'll give you.
They should be above TCU.
TCU is filthy.
I'm pulling up the top 10 right now.
I have it up already.
Okay, read off the top 10.
Mississippi State.
No.
Florida. Well, okay.
No, no is people who Notre Dame shouldn't be above.
Florida State.
See, you're putting me somewhere I don't want to be because Notre Dame is better than Florida State, but they didn't beat Florida State, so I can't say that. But
Do you want to know when the last time Florida State lost a game?
it was when Manti
Like a year and a half
Te'o
ago.
was still real. I saw that.
Auburn,
No.
Bama. No, Oregon. Oh, it's a fuck. I'm losing my mind. Ole Miss. No. Nope.
No.
I'll answer for you. It's a no.
No. You're right.
Oregon. No.
Let's
Nope.
let's hold
You're
the
wrong.
phone there.
You're incorrect.
Oregon lost to USC.
No, they didn't.
Stanford lost to USC. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Stanford's the best team that Notre Dame's beat, and Stanford's lost to USC and Arizona State.
I just think. All right. Okay. Put Oregon above.
Alabama.
We're better than Alabama.
Oh,
We're better than Alabama. Alabama gets such a bias because they've been good for so long. They have a freshman quarterback. They're just not what they were. Just because they're in the SEC, they play 4 fluff games a year at the beginning of the year. Is that you?
yeah, that was an ad on the top 10 that popped up. TCU's filthy.
No, we're better than TCU.
TCU
TCU gave up, 60-something points to Baylor and 7 straight to lose a game?
What'd you say?
Did you watch the TCU Baylor game?
Yeah, they got robbed.
That was TCU.
They gave up 60 points to Baylor. Baylor was the best offense in college football, and TCU scored 58.
Yeah, but it's not that they just gave up 60. It's that they had Baylor beat, and they gave it up. Notre Dame should be above TCU.
I don't believe that. I'll give you. They should be above Kansas State. Is the one team in the top 10 that I would put Notre Dame above.
No, they're better than Kansas.
I didn't even know Kansas State was even good this year.
Who else is on there?
What?
Who else is in the top 10?
After TCU, it's Michigan State.
We're better than Michigan State, and we're going to get to show it.
No. When do they play? When do they play Michigan State?
I think in 3 weeks.
Wait, do they not play? They don't play Notre Dame this year.
They don't play Notre Dame this year? They play Notre Dame every year.
What's going on? Why don't they play Notre Dame? I know Notre Dame got rid of the Michigan rivalry. I thought they kept Michigan State.
Yeah, I think.
They don't play Michigan State this year.
Do you have Notre Dame's schedule, the rest of their schedule?
They play Navy, Arizona State, Northwestern, Louisville, USC.
If they win out, they should be in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe, depending on what everyone else does.
If they're one loss,
the thing that hurts Notre Dame is that they don't have a championship game to play in.
yeah.
So they don't have that last
But
solid.
that's going to be the same thing with at least 3 of the SEC schools that are above them. But the SEC schools are going to get away with it because they're in the SEC.
Well, SEC is just so good. SEC is almost too good. It's almost eating itself alive, and that these teams are so good and they all beat each other and knock each other out.
Exactly, and then Notre Dame's going in there, and we're going to win the championship.
No. Plus, right on Notre Dame's tail is Georgia at number 11. They get Gurley back in 2 weeks.
I just don't think
They don't have a tough schedule left, and they're still in the SEC.
and they're going to get that SEC selection bias.
They have Auburn left, and that's the only game, big game, and then they have the
Iron Bowl.
SEC championship.
Wait, when's the Auburn-Alabama game?
Last week of the season, Iron Bowl.
Iron Bowl.
See, and who plays this week? Two of the teams in the top 3 play this week.
Really?
So Auburn and Ole Miss play this week.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why both those teams are in there, because one of them's gonna lose.
Yeah. I just think we got robbed at 10. Like, we're in the AP poll at 5 or 5 or 6, whatever it is. I didn't look, but we get put in the selection thing at 10. That's reverse Notre Dame bias. It's them trying to prove a point that they're not biased against Notre Dame, that they overcompensated and put them at number 10.
I think Virginia Tech should be at number 1.
Is Ohio State not in the top 10?
No, they're out there just outside.
Because they've been like the best team. They've been one of the best teams over the last couple after the Virginia Tech law.
They lost to Tech, and Tech keeps losing, and that keeps making Ohio State look bad. Tech is 4-4 right now.
The best thing that Ohio State could hope for is for Tech to win out, but that just won't happen.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Ohio State's at 16.
They'll creep in there, but they're not going to make the playoffs.
I mean, I don't know who they have left, but Notre Dame they haven't beaten anyone yet. That's the knock on them. So far they've beaten Rice, Michigan, Purdue, Syracuse, Stanford, and North Carolina. None of those are good teams.
None of those are good teams, but only a few of them are bad teams.
Michigan's horrible. Rice is bad.
Rice is bad.
How's Purdue?
Purdue's bad. North Carolina. Syracuse is bad. North Carolina isn't awful.
North Carolina's 4-4.
I don't know, but
and they barely beat North Carolina too.
Yeah, well, that was because we had Stanford. Or no, that was because we had Florida State the next week, and that was a trap game. We won our trap game. And then we lost our real game. But I don't know. Fuck the playoff system. We got screwed. We still have 6 weeks left to.
Keep in mind, these rankings don't matter right now.
I know, but it's still. I love rankings. I love rankings so much. I love ranking anything. I will just make ranks. Like, I'll just be doing homework, and I'll just be like, let's just start ranking shit. I think
Notre Dame.
I'm gonna write a blog about just ranking things. That's gonna be my new thing. I'm just gonna start ranking shit and put it up there.
I think Notre Dame is where they should be on the. I think they should be at 9. They're at 10.
They should be at 8 above TCU and Kansas State.
TCU is good.
No, they're not.
TCU is, and the Big 12 is good too.
All right, let's wrap that up. This is pushing an hour.
Is it really?
I think so.
All right.
That's episode number 6. That was no Baca, just me and Grover Stevens. We'll see you next week. Keep reading, keep listening. Peace.